670 WOCA. Ocala.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Beautiful Monday morning, and a lady with really beautiful eyes just came in here, Roman. Yeah. Stephanie McGillis is in the studio, and it's our first time meeting Stephanie, but we did read about her son. Her son is 6 years old, and his name is Heston Dunham. They live here in Marion County, and they are having an event over at Mojos Grill and Catering this coming Saturday. And it is a bone marrow drive, and you and I signed up for the bone marrow registry some years ago, and it was nothing to it. It was cotton swabs. It was like amazingly simple. Let's see. Heston is a 6-year-old hero. He's been diagnosed with Shwachman-Diamond syndrome, which is bone marrow failure. We're going to learn a lot in this next 20 minutes or so. Stephanie brought a gigantic book just to show us how many medical records she has to have with her, I guess, at any given time in case the need comes up. The event at Mojos is a bone marrow registry and also a toy drive, it sounds like. So we'll find out. And that's this coming Saturday at from 10 till 3 p.m. So if you have any toys or if you want to register to be a bone marrow donor, that would be the time to do it. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
You were telling us off the air that that this is not the first time you've done this. Heston is your younger son.
He's the youngest.
Do you have 2 children?
We have 2. I have a 21-year-old, and now 20 years ago or 15 years ago when all of his started, there wasn't that big push for genetic testing. It just wasn't a thing back then as it is now. And so Jay was diagnosed with Behçet's syndrome, which has a lot of the same qualities as Shwachman-Diamond, and there's a lot of carryover between the 2 diseases. Well, now in Heston having gone to Boston and meeting with the cancer people at Dana-Farber Cancer Center and the genetic testing that we've done with Heston, and then the genetic testing that we've done with Jay, just through a cheek swab, spit test with Jay, we've found that the correlation is there, and that perhaps Jay was misdiagnosed. Really? Years ago.
But how's he doing now?
He's okay. He's getting ready to have, at the first of the year, we're waiting on the whole insurance thing. You know how much fun that is. Yeah. But at the first of the year, we're going in and going to go ahead and get his bone marrow biopsy done and see where he's at.
Oh, wow.
Both of our boys have, it's a thing called cyclic neutropenia. Neutropenia is when your white blood cells are housed in your bone marrow. And your neutrophils are the things that come out and attack your ickies that are in your body. So when
your ickies.
Yeah, your ickies.
That's a word I know. A word I get. Okay.
Right. So when you have something going on with you, your neutrophils are going to come out, and they're going to attack them vigorously, and they're going to help you get better. Well, our boys don't have that. Jay has antibodies to his neutrophils. So, for instance, when you get the chicken pox, you get antibodies to it, so you don't get it again. Well, Jay has antibodies to his neutrophils. So when his new neutrophils are redone,
oh my gosh! Oh wow!
He builds up an antibody to it, so he doesn't have that ability to fight an infection.
Wow!
And this is what's happening now with Heston. You know, we.
Is it considered a cancer?
It's in the family because of the way that it's treated. Jay went through chemo. Bless his heart. A lot of chemo, almost 11 years worth on a pretty constant basis.
Goodness.
Heston's not to the chemo part of it yet because he's not strong enough to.
He looks happy in this photograph.
He's an awesome kid, but his body's not strong enough to endure any of that yet. So we are in. We're kind of in the standby mode with him. We're in the wait and see process right now, and this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing the bone marrow drive. And you know, he's had 5 surgeries just this year. He's on a feeding tube 24/7. He doesn't have the ability to.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't have the ability to absorb fat.
So he doesn't eat at all?
He does, but it doesn't stay in. He's got severe gastric paresis. Shwachman-Diamond is the name of this disease.
Right.
Shwachman-Diamond is a multi-organ failure disease. It isn't just about the bone marrow.
Okay.
It's skeletal. It's, your organs. He has supraventricular tachycardia right now, and they're getting ready to do a...
Can you explain what that is?
It's when your heart races really, 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 really fast, and you've got to...
My goodness.
The reason he's suffering from that is because he's got malnourishment. Even though he's on a feeding tube, he's still considered failure to thrive because he hasn't gained any weight. He's been on a feeding tube since June and has literally not gained a pound.
So the feeding tube is food that goes directly to his stomach?
Right, well, it's actually now, he's got what it's called a GJ tube. So his gut for the G part is shut down as far as feedings into it because it doesn't work really anymore. It doesn't have the ability to process the foods to get them out. So he has another tube that runs down into his jejunum, and that's where his food is absorbed, is down.
My goodness.
Through there.
Is he ambulatory, or is he confined to a chair?
No, he is. He's an amazing kid. This weekend I just shared Heston's Heroes is the name of his care page on Facebook. And I posted pictures yesterday morning. The day before, we went to the Florida Skillshare thing that they had out in Micanopy, which is a homesteading thing. It was really cool. But they had a lot of cool activities for the kids. And, we bring Heston's stroller with us everywhere we go because he tires very easily. And he took 2 naps and, sat and took breaks, and as they were building their fort thing there, he was the foreman because he didn't have the energy to get up there and do it, but he's no, let's put one there and let's put one there, and it's so cute. But so he does go and do, it's just limited, but to look at Hess, and I think that's where cancer is such a misconception all the way around, because Shwachman-Diamond is considered a multi-organ failure disease. It isn't necessarily considered cancer. However, you're predisposed to leukemia. You're predisposed to myelodysplastic syndrome, which is another thing that needs...
So does he need bone marrow?
He eventually will.
And you mentioned off the air about how hard it is to find a match.
Right.
So Robert and I, we signed up a long time ago.
Yeah.
It might even be 10 years already. And I never got a call at all. So is bone marrow rare? I mean, for all of us?
It's, there's so much criteria that you have to fall under because it isn't just about, like I was listening to you earlier this morning, and you all were talking about the blood drives and how, it's down right now.
Yeah.
It all goes hand in hand. I've had a lot of people say, well, what blood type do you need to be? Well, this isn't about the blood type.
Right, okay.
This is about your cells. That's why
This is way more specific than blood type, yeah.
But to carry over into the blood, we have a young man right now that's going through his second transplant because the first one failed, and it's called a haplo match. And that's a half match is what that is. And the reason being is because there was no match for him in the registry at all. So his mom tried to give first. That transplant failed. So the dad gave. That transplant is taking, but he's got a myriad of other things that are going on with him right now. Wow. And, it's frustrating for all of us as parents. We've had 5 people in the last 4 months pass away from Shwachman-Diamond.
Oh.
This is how real this is.
Oh my gosh, are they children?
There was 3 children and then
my gosh.
2 adults. So it's an insidious disease because you might be able to get through it and grow up and have a family like these 2 adults did that have left behind children.
Oh my gosh.
Heston and Jay, you're the only 2 children? So the fact that both of them have this, it sounds like, does that mean you and your husband somehow are carriers or something?
I'm the carrier. This is my second.
But you've never had symptoms?
I have cancer, which we don't need to get into all that because this isn't about me. But yes, there has to be a genetic predisposition to it, and that's where we're at. I'm the one that has the carrier.
Understanding is probably going to be impossible with a 20-minute interview, but understanding how we can help is not impossible. So let's take a break, and on the other side, let's kind of figure out what we can do to help you and help Heston, okay?
Okay.
We'll take a little break right now and be right back. Stephanie McGillis is our guest. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. It'll be rather cloudy and warm on this Monday with a shower this afternoon, high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy and warm Monday night with a shower early, then a thunderstorm or two late, low 67 to 71. Tuesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with some showers and a thunderstorm, high 78 to 82. For Wednesday, sunshine returns, less humid, high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. Do you have a gout-ridden toe or bowels that move too slow, creaky knees, or how about an asthmatic wheeze? Then acupuncture is sure to please. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566. That's 352-615-5566.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck or back pain, plantar fasciitis, peripheral neuropathy, and even tennis elbow, and would like to learn about how there are treatments that may benefit you, go to drjuanyordan.com, then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. and hear from health professionals doing these treatments and patients who have benefited from them. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. Next Generation MD, right here on The Source.
A young woman contemplating having an abortion is told by society that whether she has her baby or not, it is her choice. The House of One in Faith in Ocala wants to give that young woman a place to live in comfort during her trying time, to help her know that God's love is abundant and that He is not ashamed of her in any way. The House of One in Faith is free and confidential. For more information, call 352-687-8895.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock, 74 degrees, by the way. Looks like it's going to be a really nice Monday, and temperatures should be good for a couple of days anyway. Friday, things will be cooling down. In the studio is Stephanie McGillis, and I wanted to read to you from the flyer that first made us aware of something happening that we can help with. The flyer says, in honor of Heston, it's a bone marrow registration drive. It's Heston's Heroes Drive. Heston's Heroes Drive, from what I understand, is the Facebook page name. It'll be this Saturday, December 10th, from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Mojos Grill and Catering, not too far from here, over on Southwest 17th Street. And this is what it says on the flyer. Heston Dunham is a 6-year-old hero that has had his unfair share of hospital stays and procedures. He became ill over 2 years ago with what seemed to be a simple case of the mumps. After 7 days, doctors informed his family there was a high likelihood of Heston having leukemia. After many tests and several different hospital visits, doctors diagnosed Heston with Shwachman-Diamond syndrome, which is bone marrow failure. During his last tests, Heston had to be put on 24/7 feeding tubes. And we'll just go back to Stephanie rather than me reading the whole thing. But this was what got us, started on this track. So this coming Saturday, we can help by going to Mojos, first of all. That's easy.
Right.
All right. And what are we doing there?
So at Mojos, which is the one by Target, because there's 3 in town, and I've is it the one in Bellevue? And I'm like, no. So it's the one at Target, the big main one.
Right.
And what we're doing that day is, like you said, we're doing the bone marrow drive. It's a cheek swab. It's 30 seconds, y'all. That's all it is. You come in, we ask you a few questions. One of the biggest things that I can say here today is it's between the ages of 18 and 55. Those are who can come to the drive. And you must weigh at least 110 pounds, and you cannot have a BMI of more than 40. And the reason being is the smaller side of the people and the larger side of the people, it's a health thing. This is a procedure that you're having done. There's 2 ways to give your bone marrow, and one is a peripheral blood draw, and they basically take your cells over the course of 2 days. You sit between 4 and 8 hours, and they take it out of your body. Or in 25% of the cases, they do the actual hip extraction and remove the marrow. But they're both taxing on the body. It's not horrible. It's not this awful thing that you see on TV. It's not Hollywood. This is real life. And, this is the only way that we'll find a match. We have no matches in the registry right now for Heston. Heston is of Native American descent. And with that in the mix, it makes it a little bit harder. Right now in the registry for the Native Americans that are waiting for bone marrow transplants, there's none available. We have less than 1% donors, viable donors that are available. One of the other things, if you can't donate, if you don't make it by age, or you just are like, I don't know if I can commit to doing this, because it is a big thing that we're asking for. We're not asking for your money, we're asking for your life's blood. And it's, I know it's a big commitment. We're also doing a toy drive that day, and I know that there's toy drives all over this town. But Heston asked me last week, Heston's going to be having surgery this month. And he asked me... Heart surgery, right. And he asked if Santa was going to be able to find him in the hospital. And I said, of course he will. Santa's magic. He'll find you. And he's like, okay. And I said, but I don't think you have to worry about it, because I don't think you'll be there in the hospital at Christmas. And so he left. And then he came back about, 6-8 minutes later, and he said, but Mama, what about the other kids?
Wow.
And I said, well, Santa's magic. I said, he'll find him. I said, but you know what? Sometimes Santa needs help. So mommies and daddies, get him a couple gifts, and then when they go home from the hospital, Santa's delivered the rest of the presents, because you don't want all the presents at the hospital.
Sure.
And he said, I want to be Santa's helper. And he brought me his piggy bank, and he said, I want to buy some gifts.
My goodness.
Oh, gosh, how wonderful is he?
So,
Golly.
proud mommy moment. But he's so Heston's autistic on top of everything else.
Wow.
But he's high functioning. And one of the things that he is he's very mindful. He thinks about everything. And, and I said, you know what, buddy? I said, I think we can do you one better. I said, how about if we ask people to bring you toys? And he said, yeah, we can do that. And because he's aware of everything that's going on. He knows that people are out there. He knows that people care. He's obsessed with Superman. And so my friends have...
I always was too, by the way.
My friends, my mom, my mom's friends have sent him care packages from Superman. And it's been kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That is sharp.
Because, he would, when we went to Boston, we went to Dana-Farber, it was his first time on an airplane, and he was terrified. And as we were, how many ever miles in the air, I looked out the window and I saw this little streak of white. I said, Heston, look. I said, that's Superman. I said, he's flying next to us, keeping us protected to get us to Boston.
Wow.
Completely blew his mind, and he'll look up, he knows that Superman is around. Well, DKMS, who is sponsoring our bone marrow drive, sent him a care package in the mail on Saturday. Well, he's convinced it came from Superman. And he said, see, Mom, I told you Superman hadn't forgotten about me.
Oh, wow.
The blanket that he got, he's got it all covered up because it's nice and fuzzy, and it came with a little superhero cape and all kinds. So it was pretty cool. Which, by the way, before I forget, DKMS.org. If you can't come the day of the event, you can go online and register. They ask you a couple questions, and you fill out your little questionnaire thing, and then they will actually mail you a packet and a swab kit to your home. So you can do it in your pajamas and, whatever.
Can I just ask you, just for the listeners, I want to ask you, to share this interview. We are recording Stephanie right now as a video. We'll put it on Facebook. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll connect it if you allow us to Heston's page.
Sure.
Heston's Heroes page. Is that right?
Yeah.
And everybody, if you can share this, I told Bern Pereso when she was here earlier. Bern knows like every doctor in town, and so I'm thinking that's a great network to kind of hook into. That's why I asked her to introduce herself to you. And
Right.
and for the listeners, I mean, we have nothing more that we can do other than to get the word out for you, and that's the biggest thing we have. And I want to make it bigger than normal, because this is such a heart-touching thing. And you're right here. You're in Ocala, so if you're watching this video, please share this video. It's not shareable yet because it's still live, but once it's recorded, you'll be able to share this, and I think it'll help out a lot. And we've only got a few days. It's Saturday for the event at Mojos, right. So if you can get out there, we did the bone marrow registration. I mean, like you say, it was just a cotton swab, and we've never actually donated. But now that we're over 60, I think maybe they wouldn't take it anymore.
Well, they actually hold it in the registry until you're 61. On your 61st birthday.
Well, then I'm done.
Me too.
On your 61st birthday, they will get rid of it. I need to say this because we lost a patient the other day. When you make this commitment, it is a lifelong commitment.
Right.
Because you never know when you're going to be called on. And we had a young man the other day pass away. He had 2 matches in the registry. Perfect matches, which is, you can't ask for a better match. And they both backed out.
Oh,
and
no.
Because they backed out, the young man passed away.
Oh, my gosh.
So when you make this commitment, you are making it as a life. Don't come because you're caught up in all of the, I want to do something for this precious little boy. And if you do, come and buy a cookie for the bake sale, or do the hearts for Heston's, or take a selfie with the Elfie, because Heston's going to be dressed up in his little elf outfit collecting the toys. But don't make the commitment to donate if you don't think you can follow through, because it's heartbreaking for the parents.
Yeah.
To watch your child pass when you know that you had
You had 2 donors. Wow.
And then they backed out.
And we also will share this with Galen. You know that Life South, you said you heard us talking to him this morning. He's got a lot of connections also.
Right.
He's also Native American heritage, by the way. He might relate to this story. He might already be familiar with the story, as far as I know.
And Heston is a great role model for other children. He's so outgoing. He's such fun and so caring for others that if there are other children out there, they need to come in and get in contact with Heston so he can do one-on-ones with them just to have a good time, because he is, the leader, and he's just such a wonderful role model.
I have a real left field question for you. Could he handle a roller coaster?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of this roller coaster at Six Flags? Not the one over Georgia. I think it was some other place. But you wear these virtual reality goggles when you're on the roller coaster. Okay, have you heard of this? Oh, I got to show you the video. You're on this roller coaster but you're not really looking with your own eyes. I mean, you're looking with your own eyes, but you've got goggles on. Okay, and in the goggles, you're not on a roller coaster. You're like flying in a plane.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, a bad guy comes and knocks your plane down. And you're getting ready to crash to the ground, and here comes Superman, and he's in front of you, and he catches you and pulls you back up. Now, the roller coaster is going through these same motions, so physically, you're actually going through what your eyes are seeing is something different.
Right.
Oh, he would love this.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because Superman would be right there.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
Yeah.
I have to find out. I have to find out which one it is. I don't think it's the one over Georgia, but could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Saturday, that's the Target day then, beginning at 10 a.m. at Mojos by Target on 17th Street and Highway 200.
And can I say another radio station's name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
So
Saving a child.
Q92 will be out there doing a remote too. So,
okay.
Listen on the radio if you're like, I know it was
that is
something I
our-
was supposed to be doing. And
That is our estranged sister station. So that was an okay one.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Thank you, Stephanie, for being in here. I knew that a couple times during that interview you almost cried. I almost cried, and Listeners, please share this video. I mean, we've got till Saturday to try to get as many people into Mojos as possible to sign up for the bone marrow registry.
And donate toys.
Donate toys.
Heston will be collecting them in his elf outfit.
There you go. We've got to leave. This is WOCA Ocala. Thank you, Stephanie.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Officials in Oakland, California say 36 deaths have now been confirmed in Friday night's Artist Warehouse fire.
Of the 36, 11 have been positively identified.